are you?
Ask me who I was.
No. My mind is torn to pieces.
Come here and know me better, man.
I will not. You are a figment of my imagination.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because your very existence is impossible.
When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever is left, however improbable,
Must be the truth. So, am I to believe that you are the ghost of Ebenezer Scrooge?
I prefer the term spirit. And I dare say you are in dire need of some spirit, Mr. Holmes.
Bah! What business do you have with me?
My business is your welfare and your reclamation.
I shall handle that matter myself. No ghost need apply.
I am truly afraid for you, my boy. You are now as I once was. Oh, how I used to wag my finger and curse the heavens and say, if they could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart. That was the old me. Sound familiar? Doesn't have to be you. It is not too late for you to change. You must turn back from your present course. Before it is too late, take heed.
No, I do not believe in you. For if you exist, then so must.
Professor Moriarty.
Indeed, he was the greatest schemer of all time. The organizer of every chivalry, the Napoleon.
No! How you go on about him.
You don't understand. There is no use for Sherlock Holmes if Moriarty is dead.
Which he most certainly is. Moriarty is condemned to wear the chains that he forged in life, link by link. His spirit is doomed.
He deserved his fate. Perhaps I shall share it.
I see now. You're not afraid of death. You're afraid of life.
Why shouldn't I be? I know the horrors of this world. I have looked directly upon the horrors others choose to look away from.
You fear the world too much, and you credit it too little.
I have seen murderers, thieves, criminal masterminds, prisons and workhouses overflowing with those I have jailed. And yet, I live in a world of fools. Eyes closed as the world spins into madness. They waste their hours on pointless holidays, singing wretched songs, and actually
You are wrong. Christmas is a kind and a charitable time. It's a season of forgiveness. And as for gifts, you have been given gifts in abundance, my boy.
And if I choose not to use them, that is my business.
Mankind is your business. The common welfare is your business. You are Sherlock Holmes. It is your business to know what other people don't.
You're an idealist, Scrooge. Just like Watson.
I'll admit I have read all of his stories. A bit of a fan, you might say. Right from the first one, published in Beaton's Christmas Annual, A Study in Scarlet.
Watson's stories belong to a different time of life. That's all in the past.
Yes, your past. Don't you remember?
How are you? He said cordially, gripping my hand with a strength for which I should hardly have given him credit. You have been.
To Afghanistan, I perceive.
How on earth did you know that? I asked in astonishment.
And I said, here, you see a gentleman with the air of a military man, an army doctor. He has come from the tropics for his face is not his natural tint. He has undergone hardships, sickness. His left arm is injured. He holds it in a stiff and unnatural manner. He has seen so much hardship.
Afghanistan, yes. I wondered at first if he was as frank as a man as I was myself.
lodgings
Comfortable.
at a reasonable price.
221B Baker Street. He warned me of his shortcomings, stating,
I get in the dumps at times. I don't open my mouth for days on end. You mustn't think I'm sulky when I do that. Just let me alone, and I'll soon be all right. We might as well know the worst of each other beyond the county.
friends.
Yes. Never had a friend before.
From the journals of Dr. John H. Watson, M.D., The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, my name is Helen Stoner.
Dr. Grimsby Roylott.
Lord Backwater.
Jabez Wilson.
Mary Mawson.
Mycroft Holmes.
Wilhelm von Ornstein.
Mrs. Hudson.
Sir Henry Baskerville.
Cecil Stapleton.
Irene Adler.
Please, Mr. Holmes, I need your help.
I know them spirits. I know them all.
Sherlock Holmes, my friend, the best and wisest man I have ever known.
What troubles you?
I should like to have a word with my elder sister just now.
Didn't you call him a fool?
He may not himself have been numerous, but he was always a conductor of light. But he's better off without me. He has Mrs. Watson married now, in any case.
Indeed, he has.
Is that you, John?
In fact, he is with her at present.
Yes, Mary,
Did you see him?
I did.
And will he come?
He won't. I feel we have lost him, Mary. For good this time. He no longer resembles the man who knew me. He wishes to have nothing to do with me.
More shame for him, John.
His offences carry their own punishment. I have nothing to say against him.
Well, I do. I have no patience for the man. You two are friends.
I suppose that is the way of life. We will go their separate paths. How fortunate I come to have you.
You'll always have me, John. Still, I see how he bothers you, and so it bothers me.
Who does he hurt, really? Only himself. My words still cough me, Mary.
I'm fine, I'm fine.
She's unwell. Oh, Mary. Mary, I didn't know. Spirit, if something had happened to her, then Watson would be
Alone. Yes.
You're a dear man, John Watson. Put Sherlock Holmes out of your mind. Come, it's Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. Everywhere. Tonight.
Can't you sleep, Emma?
No, Dr. Cratchit.
Oh, I can't either.
I heard you tell Mr. Holmes that the hospital is in danger of closing. Is that why you're awake?
It is. And I'm sure you must be thinking about your poor father.
Yes, sir. But Mr. Holmes is on the case, isn't he? He's sure to solve the mystery. He always does.
I'm sure Mr. Holmes will do all he can. That is to say, all that he is able to.
Do you think Mr. Holmes is unwell, sir?
I believe he has troubles.
I believe so, too. I'll pray for him. God bless him, sir.
Indeed, Emma. God bless us, everyone.
You have shown me the past and the present, Scrooge. I fear to ask, what will you show me next? Say something, man!
Dr. Watson, is that you?
This is the future, is it not?
Who's there?
Emma Wiggins, sir. From long ago. Don't you remember me?
Oh, yes. Wiggins. That's right, of course, Wiggins.
Merry Christmas, sir. Who are you here to visit, Doctor?
My dear wife is laid to rest here. Was too many Christmases ago now.
I was paying my respects to Dr. Cratchit. He's buried beneath that tree. Do you remember him?
Cratchit, yes. Used to run a hospital for children. Closed up, didn't it?
It did. Dr. Pratchett took care of me after my father died in prison. Poor father. Never had his name cleared.
Bah! Scotland Yard. You're as worse than ever since they promoted Lestrade to chief inspector.
Oh dear Lord!
We always knew we had no talent.
Doctor, whatever happened to Sherlock Holmes?
Oh, he's among these stones somewhere, I think. He was a disappointment. I haven't had his name in years. I never understood how he could fool me so far. But then perhaps some mysteries have no solutions.
I sometimes wonder what if...
No, don't. Banish those words from your mind. What if? You will never know what if. Yet Sherlock Holmes was his. I have...
What's it?
He wasn't the man I thought he was.
Tell me, Scrooge. Are these the shadows of things that will be? Or are they the shadows of things that may be only? What would you have me do, Spirit?
It is not for me to say, Sherlock Holmes. Men's lives foreshadow certain ends, to which, if persevered in, they must lead.
But if the courses are departed from,
The ends may change.
I fear I am past all hope.
Waste your gifts at your own peril, and risk the welfare of those who would care for and rely upon you in the future. No, sir, it is not too late to change. You may change these shadows with an altered life and a thankful heart.
But Moriarty's...
You do not need Moriarty to be Sherlock Holmes. Your greatest adversary is yourself, man.
And what must I do? To be well and truly changed, to rid myself of despair.
You must care for your brothers and sisters. And you must use your gifts as they were intended. You must do what you were meant to do. You must be Sherlock Holmes and
Solve the mystery.
Exactly, man. Now go and do it. Solve the mystery surrounding my death. And find out
Who stole the blue carbuncle and why?
You know the suspects. You've heard their stories. And you've seen the clues. It all adds up. In fact, I believe that deep down, you already have the solution, don't you?
Of course I do.
And how is that possible?
Because I am Sherlock Holmes.
Then prove it, you humbug! Remember everything that has passed between us. The game is afoot!
The fog is lifted now. The cold night air snaps Holmes back to his senses.
He must have been dreaming. He is a man of rational thought.
He cannot. He will not. He does not.
Believe in ghosts.
Or does he?
Still, if he has been sleepwalking, he now finds himself exactly where he needs to be.
The Alpha Inn.
A small public house on Holborn Street.
Hi, Mrs. Windigate at your service, dearie. How can I help you? Hello!
Oh, yes, of course.
Are we drinking for a Merry Christmas now?
Oh, thank you. Is your beer as good as your goose?
My goose?
Oh, yes, I was speaking only half an hour ago to a member of your goose club.
Aye, yes, but you see, sir, those aren't my geese.
Well, who's then?
I got the 2 dozen from a salesman in Covent Garden.
Indeed. Which one?
Brackenridge is the name. Old Joe Brackenridge. Aye, here
Thank
you
you,
are.
Mrs. Windicate.
Aye, wait! What about your
You have been most helpful indeed.
Aye. More for me. Happy Christmas!
Onwards.
To the south, a quick march.
Across Holborn,
Down and Endell.
around the corner.
Through a zigzag slums.
Racing faster until finally he reaches
Public Garden.
Pies of every variety. Get your Christmas pies here.
13 Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stevens. Ah, thank you, sir.
bric-a-brac, second-hand goods at top-rate price. Bric-a-brac.
Holly birds, French hens, turtle doves.
Figgy pudding. Bring home some figgy pudding.
A cold night.
Tess,
Have you any keys?
sold out. Let you have on release tomorrow morning. Just now. How's about some bed curtains or shoes or spoons? Anything you want, old Joe's got.
What I want is a goose.
Try the other stalls then.
How? What? I was recommended to you by your woman at the Alpha Inn.
Aye, sent her a couple dozen.
Fine birds. Where did you get them?
Do what you driving at.
I wish to know who sold you those keys.
Oh, would you now? Well, I shan't tell you. How'd you like that? For Merry Christmas.
No need to get hot.
You be up too. You're pestered as I am today. It's where the geese and who'd you sell the geese to and what do you want for the geese? You think they were the only geese in the world, the fuss some people make?
But I bet my friend five that the bird I eat was country bred.
Then you lost your bet. That bird was town bred.
I don't believe it.
Think you know more about fowls than I do, ya? I say, all those birds that went to the alpha, town bred. Better know the fibre on it.
I'd merely be taking your money. I know I'm right.
Look here then, Mr. Cocksher. That's the list of folk from whom I buy. On this page, the country folk, and this page, town folk. Read that name there.
Miss Abigail Fezziwig, 117 Brixton Road, 24 Keys.
And so to Mrs. Windigate of the Alpha, now pay up.
I'm chagrined. Another question. I see among your second-hand bric-a-brac those spoons. Monogram with the fanciful code letter S. I know the man who was owned them. How did they come to your possession?
You know what you accuse me of? I've got bundles coming in all the time and don't ask the origins. Got these spoons for nearly a year with no questions.
I see. Lastly, do you know the man over my shoulder who's been so clumsily eavesdropping on us?
Oi, here's another one coming around about the geese. I told you. Don't know where your goose went. Pester me again. Either of you, and I'll set the dogs on you. Merry Christmas. Bric-a-brac!
I won't, my demand.
What do you want?
I think we're here for the same reason.
You can't know a thing about
My
it.
name is Sherlock Holmes. It is my business to know what other people don't.
Not about this.
You are endeavoring to trace some geese sold by a woman from Brixton Road, are you not?
Oh, so, my apologies. You are the very man I've longed to meet.
We need privacy. Come. Before we go any further, give me your name.
Robinson. Jack Robinson.
No, your real name, please. It's so troubling to do business with an alias.
Fezziwig. Rob Fezziwig.
Just so. Young Fezziwig, violinist with the Cosmopolitan Hotel, fiancé to Fan Gardner.
How did you
I
know?
wish to know what became of those geese.
Oh, I do, sir.
Or rather, a particular goose. White, with a black stripe across the tail.
Oh, sir, can you tell me where it went?
It went with me, and a remarkable bird it was. It laid the brightest little blue egg that ever was saw. I have it right here. How did you come to know of the Countess's blue stone?
My fiancée Fanny, she'd seen it, but she had nothing to do with my taking it, I swear.
I believe it. You knew suspicion would fall on the hotel worker Wiggins. You made a small job of the dressing room window, and Mr. Topper sent for Wiggins. When Wiggins left, you rifled the jewel case, raised the alarm, and Wiggins was arrested. You then...
For God's sake, have mercy! Think of my guilt on his name, on my beloved grandfather, to the old Fezziwig who practically raised me. Oh, I don't want to shame his memory. I never went wrong. I never will again. Oh, don't bring me to court.
It is well to cringe and crawl now.
I will fly and leave the country, Mr. Holmes. The charges against Mr. Wiggins will collapse.
Confess.
Yes, sir. I wanted to get away from the hotel with the stone. I was afraid the police would touch me as they'd been spotted in the dressing room. I made for my sister Abby's house. She lives in Brixton Road, where she fattens birds for market. I was in a panic.
What's wrong then, Ralphie? You coming down with something?
Oh, been a jewel robbery at the hotel, Abby. Upset me a bit.
Oh, go out in the yard and smoke your pipe.
Oh, I went out back among the geese to think. I had a friend. He spent hard time in Penville. He said he could get rid of stolen goods. I decided to go to him and turn the stone into money.
But you're afraid you might be seized and searched. You saw the geese about your feet, and an idea came to your feeble head.
I thrust my hand down the neck of one of the birds, one with a sharp tail as far as my finger could reach. The bird gave a gulp and flapped out my hand.
What did you do with that bird there, Ralphie?
You said I could have one for Christmas. I was just choosing the fattest.
As I say, you want a side.
If all the same, I'd rather have that white one there, with the funny tail.
Suit yourself. Take it with you. I'll see you tomorrow night at the Beverwood Christmas party, and don't be late this time.
I did what she said, and I took the bird to my friend. He got the knife and cut open the goose. My heart turned to water. There was no sign of the stone. I rushed for my sisters, and there was not a bird in sight.
You're one of the dealers, Ralphie.
Which dealer?
Oh, Joe's in Covent Garden.
Were there two with the same tail, Abby?
Yes, Ralphie, too, with the striped tail. I never could tell them apart. What in heaven's name is wrong, Ralphie?
And now you're back to the thief, without ever having touched the boat for which I sold my character and sacrificed my fiancé's love. I'm a disgrace to the good old name Fezziwig.
Go.
What?
I said go!
Oh, sir, heaven bless you!
Are you there, Scrooge? Can you hear me? If a man has committed a crime, he must pay the price in full. My very words, would it not? And yet, what is the price of saving a soul? I let Ralph Fezziwig go rather than make a jailbird of him for life. Fellows do finally go wrong again. And you did say this was the season of forgiveness, did you not? Oh, if Watson could see me now, talking to ghosts. But there's much to do this Christmas Eve. Oh, yes! There's still a matter of your peculiar death, old man. I know the suspects, I've heard their stories, I've seen the clues. It all adds up. And a partridge in a pear tree.
Who's there? It's me. No, it can't be. I saw you, you're dead. It can't be you, Mr. Scrooge.
Why not, Mrs. Dilber? Don't you believe in ghosts?
Mr. Holmes, you scared me off to death.
Oh, we best be careful with the other half then, for it is on account of the dead that I have come in tonight. I'm very glad to see you, Mrs. Dilber.
What do you want from me?
I've come to take you up on your kind offer.
My offer?
Yes, for a seance. I wish to speak to the dead. You see, I need a word with Ebenezer Scrooge.
You want to talk to Old Scratch there, do you? Why you want to do that?
Oh, there are many questions which need answers. And I understand spirits quite enjoy coming to this house on Christmas Eve.
You don't want to be messing around willy-nilly with things you don't understand, sir. I don't wish to contact any ghosts tonight, thank you very much.
Nevertheless, I'll need you to try. You did say Scrooge had not yet crossed over. Perhaps he's in this very room with us now. And what might he say if we were to ask him about the missing will and to who he intended to give the blue card?
I'm sure I don't know.
Perhaps not. But what might he say about the note that was sent to him, the threat on his life?
Terrible business. Now, if you don't
And
mind.
lastly, just how exactly did he die? Perhaps we could ask him all that and more about the past, the present, and especially the future.
I think I've heard quite enough of this blather, detective.
And so, we have set our scene. Tell me, how do we do this now, Mrs. Dilbert? You are the conduit, after all. I've heard we need an object that belonged to the deceased. Oh, this chair will do. And a candle. I think we have the perfect candle, don't you? Such a strong aroma. Yes, the door is locked, so that the spirits cannot escape. The window is bolted too.
Open the door. Open the bleeding door, I tell you.
I will not. In fact, that door will not open until you make Scrooge appear and all our questions are answered.
You have to let me out of here right now.
I'm prepared to stay here as long as it takes.
You don't understand.
I think I do. We will sit here together until this candle burns to the night.
Blow out that candle. Blow it out, I say.
Oh, but why? Quite pungent. Just like the scent I noted this morning. Mr. Burke told me Scrooge's candles were custom made. The scent provided by the customer. Reminds me a bit of your cake now, doesn't it? Your famous chocolate amaretto. Smells like almonds.
We cannot stay in here, please.
But of course the cake was stale when I arrived in the morning, wasn't it? But if the cake was not freshly baked on the premises, what could account for the overwhelming scent of burning almonds?
You know, sir, don't scare me like this. I've got a weak humper, you know.
Yes, I'm a bit nervous too. Though I'm a skeptic, I find I'm beginning to believe. With each passing moment I feel Scrooge drawing near, don't you? Oh yes, I feel him now. You wish for me to simply let you walk away and forget Scrooge? I can never. There's much to learn from his story. He changed his ways. He solved life's greatest mysteries. Like any good detective, he sought out the truth. You know what the truth is, don't you? Because I do. The truth is that it was you, Mrs. Dilbert. It was you that wanted Scrooge dead.
You're mad.
You didn't retire last year. Mr. Scrooge fired you rather than reporting you to the police. He let you keep your reputation. You were stealing from him. Little trinkets. Spoons and fanciful curl letter S, for instance. You pawned them at Old Joe's.
Mr. owns the candle.
Oh, I guess. The custom-scented candles which line these halls. Candles which Henry Burke unwittingly made at your request. They contain a rather special ingredient to give them their scent. An ingredient that smells distinctly like burning almonds. These candles are made with cyanide.
Don't be a fool, man.
Cyanide which you stole from Dr. Cratchit's cabinet at St. Bernard's Children's Hospital. There was a break-in there last Tuesday. The same day you volunteered.
I had nothing to do with
Really now, Mrs. Dilbert, stealing from children, it's almost enough to make one say,
Bah! Humbug!
bah, humbug.
that. Did you hear that?
I may have. I'm not sure. It might all be in my head. Does it matter? What matters is that Ebenezer Scrooge was to receive the castle as a gift from the Countess of Morcar. You thought he had it already, and you knew this house's hiding place better than anyone. If we could only find it, you could make off the diamond and sell it. Mr. Scrooge being so afraid of me, you sent him a threatening note, hoping to scare him, perhaps weaken his heart.
Your ghosts have returned.
What's that?
But the old man was strong. He was not scared by the note. Its cuttings made by a left-handed person trying to appear right-handed.
Oh, Lord.
You arrived here after dark. You needed time to let the cyanide candles burn down. You saw Scrooge in his chair, struck a match, locked the door, and waited for him to die. Fan Gardner arrived at the door at midnight and saw Scrooge through the window, but didn't have the courage to knock. You were safe for now, but you didn't count on Tiny Tim. You were here when he arrived in the morning, and you were forced to discover the body with Dr. Cratchit present. He noted the door was locked, arousing him in suspicions of foul play. But if he was murdered, where was the weapon? Cleverly melted down The poison having done its work on a man who, in all of us soon simply died of old age. The authorities finding no marks on the body and given that it was Christmas, an autopsy would be postponed for a day. By that time, any trace of cyanide would be gone. The unique property of the poison. When Cratchit with the vegetable squad, you scrubbed the wax strippings on the floor in order to destroy any evidence. A housekeeper to the end. It was you, Mrs. Dilber. Mrs. Dilber. It was you.
What if it was? What if I did do what you said? The old dumb bum. I don't care if he was a changed man. All I ever got was a little raise each Christmas and the promise I'd always have my job. I wanted to be his housekeeper his whole life, and with him handing out money to every portly gentleman in sorry soul that comes his way. So maybe I stole a fancy spoon or a set of bed curtains to hold what of it. That blue carbuncle wasn't ever going to me now, was it? So I had to make sure it would.
And with no will, who could contest if you came, he gave it to you. But you could not find the bill. Nor this time.
How'd you get that?
I went on a wild goose chase. This candle is starting to affect my senses, Mrs. Dilber. Can you feel it too?
I'll say you broke in here and stole that diamond. Threatened to poison me with cyanide. The police have believed that. Even that pigeon-livered bundle of straw will buy it. Everyone knows you ain't exactly been yourself lately. You mousy-nosed blunderbuss. Besides, I'm not afraid of you. So long as I'm locked in here with that candle burning, so are you.
Quite right.
What's this?
Mrs. Dilber!
He was here. He was in this room. I saw him. It was Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge. He's come for me.
I knew he'd show up.
Let me out of here.
Gladly, madam. Heard the whole thing at the keyhole, Mr. Holmes. Every last word of her confession. Pigeon-livered, am I? It was all just as you said, wasn't it, sir?
I admit it. I'm the murderer. Just take me from this horrible haunted place. He was here. He was here.
Was he now?